So I'll get cozy because we're gonna be here for a while. Why, hello, friends. It has been quite a while, hasn't it? Probably about 4 or 5 months, according to my YouTube thing. What can I say? COVID hit, and, well, COVID hit. And I think it took with it all of my motivation, all of my creativity, and then a bunch of personal stuff happened, and yeah, it was a rough time. Still is a rough time, but we're getting through it. But anyway, hi, how's everybody doing? Y'all still okay out there? I hope so. Anyway, welcome to yet another TBR. I know I said I was never going to do these, and now this is the second one I have up on my channel, but hey, it's a great jumping off point. So, and I have quite a few books. Y'all are going to laugh at me, as you probably always do every time I make a TBR video, just because I always give myself way too many books to read, and it's ridiculous, and I generally end up reading most of them. So, without further ado, we'll just go ahead and dive right in. First up is a short story by Needy Okafor, which is Remote Control. I got this arc the other day while I was at the bookstore that I work at. I have no idea what it's about. I love the cover, and if I remember right, she also wrote Binti. And so I will just read you the back of this. Or at least the first quote, because holy crap, this sounds incredible. She's the adopted daughter of the Angel of Death. Beware of her. Mind her. Death guards her like one of its own. The next on my list is the 5th book in the Witcher series, which is Lady of the Lake. The next one is a classic that I have not read and have been meaning to read for a very long time, and that's Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. The next book is one that I checked out right 2 days, I think, before the library shut down, and the fact that I have not picked it up in all of that time, despite the fact that I am over the moon to read it, is kind of sad, and I'm a little nervous that's a little foretelling of that I'm not gonna like it. And that is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. The next book is a sequel to a book that I read couple weeks ago, absolutely fell in love with, and I'm so excited to read the sequel because it's centered around an all-female cast of characters, and that is Bloody Rose by Nicholas Eames. This book series is like a fantasy sort of based off of Dungeons and Dragons mixed with 80s rock music, and it was a combination I didn't know I needed, but absolutely love. The next one is one that I can't believe I'm actually picking up because there is so much controversy around it. Not controversy, but most people either love it or hate it, and I'm guaranteed to be in the hate it crowd. And that is A Court of Thorns and Roses. I don't know why I am doing this to myself, but I figured, what the hell, I should read it to at least know what all the hype is about. Who knows, maybe I'll end up loving it. The next book is another arc that I really don't know too much about, and I solely picked it up just based on the cover, and then read a little bit of the back of it, and it's supposed to be 1920s Chinese steampunk, I think, if I remember correctly. Close enough to it. And it's called These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, and look how pretty that is. That is some damn good cover art. It's a nice big floppy paperback, too. And then the next one on my list, I put on my Goodreads want to read shelf before it came out because it just seemed ridiculous. And now that I have it, I don't know if I'm actually going to pick it up, but I checked it out from the library, so we'll see. And that is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. And it's about a bunch of old women in a book club who go around slaying vampires. And hey, how is that not entertaining? The last book that I currently physically have is, but I'm going to be picking up a couple more on this list. I just don't have them now, and I'm not going to the library until Saturday. But that would be The Night Tiger by Yangtze Chu. Again, this is another one that I've had on my to-read list forever. I lied. I have one more, and it's a book of short stories that I picked up at Half Price Books months ago called Press Start to Play, and it's a bunch of sci-fi fantasy books centered around video games. A book that I am reading is an ebook, is this year's Hugo Award winner, and that is a memory called Empire. It's been likened to Ancillary Justice by Anne Leckie, which is one of my favorite books of this year so far, and I'm 100 pages into it and have been exactly 100 pages into it for about 2 months now, and I'm not loving it, and I can see where the author was trying to emulate a lot of what Anne Leckie did in her series, and I've got a lot of thoughts about it, but I do hope to continue with this one for the rest of the month. The next 4 are ones that I am picking up from the library, and they are 8 Perfect Murders, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which I didn't love the Hunger Games, so I'm not entirely convinced why I'm picking this one up other than to know what all the hype is about. The Promise of Blood, which is book 1 of The Powder Mage, and then Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. The last 2 are books that I've been seeing all over BookTube that seem really interesting. They're different takes on fantasy, or classics in fantasy as the last one may be, and I've been making more of an effort to read more classic fantasy and then to branch out in the types of fantasy and sci-fi that I read, so I'm not strictly staying to like medieval inspired European whitewashed fantasy and whatnot, just so I can like get a grasp of all of it. Powder Mage series is supposed to be based on the Napoleonic Wars, I believe, and I am super excited about that. Now, if that weren't enough, I have a whole big shelf of books that I have picked up over the last couple of years that I haven't gotten to. And then a whole big bunch of arcs that I have picked up over the years and haven't gotten to. So I wrote them all down on slips of paper, put them in this nice little Tangled mug. I think I might have even thrown some rereads that I want to get to in here as well. Nala approves. And so I was going to choose one, because this list is already a bit out of hand. I was going to choose one, but Nala is going to help me. Which one do we want? We have a winner. I'm not going to look at it. I'm going to let you look at it first. There we go. Can we even read that? Looks like it is going to be Companions in Conflict. You picked that one on purpose, didn't you? Please hold. I will go grab that. So, this month's mystery TBR book is Companions in Conflict. So, a note about my mystery TBRs, because I'm notorious for picking them and never reading them. If I don't read it either this month or next month, it goes in my ARC pile of shame, which then gets dispersed to all of the little free libraries. So, I have the next 4 weeks to read this, and if I start it, get about 2 or 3 chapters into it, don't like it, don't want to continue it, then fine. If I start it, get halfway through it, then I'll give myself till the next month to finish it, because I clearly have a bunch of other ones. But yeah, those are the rules. I have 2 months to finish it, well, technically 1 month, and if I don't finish it by the end of September, and don't feel like it's going to be something I do continue with into October, I'm DNFing it, and it's going away. Dear God, what have I done to myself? Anyway, if you liked what you see, feel free to give me a like, comment, or subscribe, whichever you feel like, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye!